I used to fool around a lot with horses. I lost a finger and all.
Uncle Pete, was he missing fingers too?
Who?
Uncle Pete, was he missing a finger or two?
Not him. No, he was, I was the only one.
Oh, okay. I always had a memory of that.
And then they put me in a heavy haul. So as soon as I never drove here, I didn't drive a Jeep. I didn't drive nothing here. I said, geez, everybody's like driving. I don't get a chance to drive here. As soon as I went overseas, I went to North Africa. We went up there, we had to walk 8 miles, hike 8 miles. Raining like a son of a gun. Company commander says, all right, boys, there's where you're sleeping tonight. Open up your tents, move in with Steve, move in with anybody, half and half tents, you know, and you sleep together. Water and mud that high. I started hollering like anything over there. Some guy from my neighborhood that really came from there, his name was Steve too. Remember the teller, Steve?
What?
Steve used to work in the chicken market.
Yeah.
So he hears me hollering. He says, hold on, once he hollers, hey, Tim! Oh, Christ, so the hell knows me here by this game. And it was him, Steve.
Wow.
And we're crushing there, well, water and mud that high. The guy told you, go ahead, put your tents and go to sleep. So I stood there, 2 or 3 days I stood there. I meet a guy there, he lived there, he worked in a casino there, in Canastella they call it, North Africa. One guy I caught, I was fooling around with one of them Arabs.
Okay. Really?
I killed him.
Really?
Chopped it off.
Really?
Yes, sir. Well, he was told. No bother. What they call it. That's the first. They're coming over. Took me 14 days to get on the boat. I left from here, Pier 16, Staten Island. And who I meet over here, nobody knew we were living. Who's working there? A friend of mine. I was taking care of his horses.
Really?
Believe me, I swear to God, I was taking care of his horses. When he see me, Patty Schroeder. He see me, see? Patty, tell my family I'm going over. I'm leaving. I'm going overseas. So we got in Africa 14 days. I made the invasion over there in North Africa. And then we stood there, and we kept on going. They picked me out and said, you're going with the company commander. First time of division, 6th Infantry. That's where I was. The whole war come true. Well, then I left. I got hurt. I had assistant driver, youngest. How old are you?
19.
He was 22 years old. He was my assistant driver. I drove a day and a night. You know, through the what they call head track. Only had a window about this big. You had to look through.
Really?
The guy in front of you. So
just follow the guy in front of you.
Yeah, the guy. So in the morning, stopped in the morning. I says, Sergeant King, I says, we stopped at piss break. 10 minutes. I says, Sergeant King, I can't drive. I said, my eyes are blinded like a bastard. He said, all right, wake up the assistant driver, let him take over. So I says, he got up. I sat near the Sergeant King. He says, let's have a smoke before the planes come down. He says, I got a raincoat. We put it overhead. We lit the cigarettes. I says, I hope this guy stays on the road. I didn't even stop talking. Here we go.
Flipping?
We went off the mountain.
Really?
Wow. I hit a big boulder like this on my back. I was laying there. The guy with the radio, something was on the radio, Sergeant Keith. Sergeant Keith was on the radio. And I'm hollering for Steve. I'm hollering for Sergeant King. I'm hollering for the lieutenant sleeping alongside of me because she knew that I drove heavy stuff. He was Lieutenant Huggins. He says he was happy that I was driving. But anyway, Sergeant Keith, the radio guy, he got smashed like this. Oh my God. His head was like this table. Ugh. They put him on the bottom and they put me on top. They had the ambulance following us up. When we moved, there was always an ambulance behind us. So the ambulance, the guy, the company
like
come in, the doctor knew me. He says, hello, don't move. He says, don't talk, just stay there. They got me and they put me on top of the, and they put me in the field. We went to the field medics. Those, all the girls from Roosevelt Hospital in New York.
Really?
They were working there. I'm in the Pick magazine too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in the Pick magazine. Oh no, my family doesn't hear me. My sister Kamala, I used to write to her all the time, send her money and all for my father and everything. So my sister Camilla, they were worrying about me. 13 weeks they didn't hear from me. What happened? In the meantime, I was in the hospital back and forth. So this guy had a junk shop there. He picked up a Pick magazine, and he seen my picture in there. He went over across the street. He told my sister, "Hey, your brother.
He's mine.
Hey, your brother." And they see me in the Pick magazine. That was it.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah, everything. So I stood there. I'd done 3 years overseas, and come home from 16 days. That was the donation. If I stood there 16 days, I could have bought a 17-room castle for $7,000. Right, Matilda? How much could I bought that castle near the camps? Could I bought a 12-room and 13-room, $7,000?
Please.
She could tell you. She used to. When we got there in Florence, all the time, girls
Too bad
and
you
all,
can touch.
people were starving. So the company come in and says, Malone, my guy Malone, he says, what do they want? I says, they're starving, they want to eat. He says, tell the cook to put the soup kitchen, make a big pot, and feed them. I was all cleaned up, washed and everything, put on brand new coveralls. All the ones I said, get in line, we gotta eat. They were lunching in line and all, and I got feed. They put the soup all over me. I said,
really?
get out of here, you told them in Italian.
And that's what I met him.
That's where she met me. And every morning they used to come every morning to holler at me.
Food. We don't want no money.
I
Just want food.
We want food.
got the order running, boss.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Then that's why I talked to him a little
We
more.
don't want no money. We want it to eat.
This is
So anyway, in the mornings,
was this in Florence?
yeah, Florence.
Yeah, fine.
Getting towards the Christmas. You're getting toward Christmas. And over here in Christmas, all the time at Christmas here, we had a party where you used to take the kids, you were a little tiny, take the kid, you take care of them, they make hamburgers, frankfurters, and all that stuff. We've done the same thing over there. So the government, the guy had the same exact name like I had. He came from Chicago too. I thought maybe it was my father's brother's son.
Really?
Morelli.
Morelli's
Morelli.
name.
His
Yeah.
name is Morelli. They get so mixed up with the Morello. Nobody knows
All
how
right.
to spell.
Now that I got
What
you
is
both
your
here,
father's name? Real?
Morello.
Morello?
Now,
It's Morelli.
where does that start? Nobody knows. We don't have a definitive answer as to
You
where
don't.
did that start.
None
Where
of
Bob?
Now I want to get
Morelli.
my passport. I went to the church.
Well, what's the name? Is it Morelli or
It was
Morello?
Ron Morelli in the church was Morelli.
Okay. Boys, my uncle Bob.
He's got Morelli.
He's Morelli.
It's supposed to be Morelli. I don't know. I really
But he goes
don't
by
know.
Morello.
It's on Morello.
So when we went to
My
Italy,
kid's in Morello because he's
When
got
we went
Morello
to-
on his birth certificate. So you can't
Steve,
Morello.
when we went to Italy, we used to pass it over with the passport. I used to go first with Morello, and she was in the back with Morelli.
You know,
The guys go like this. What's this?
I think this is lack of school, you know, like his father knew. I'm not criticizing anybody. If I bless that man.
That's what I assumed. It's
I
always been.
bless a man day and night. How can a man... Hey, how old were you?
I was 18 months.
18
Take
months
care of 8
when
kids.
His mother died. 8 kids. Just imagine. You have to...
So anyway,
We can't get that to work.
we had a Christmas party there.
But there's lack of education.
So they told me-
That's the whole
They told me
thing.
where we gonna get a Christmas in Florence where she was.
See,
Yeah, it's all Mediterranean,
I
isn't
didn't go
it?
to school that much either. I have to be.
So I went up and see a friend of mine. He gave me the shrink. 65 years old. Years ago, he gave me the
You
shrink.
cannot change the name from Morelli to Morello.
Still, I want to tell him the story about Capelli. When we had the Christmas party there. Wait. So anyway, the Morelli tells me that the general wants to see you upstairs. So I go upstairs. I salute him. So what is it? He says, you know a lot of people over here. He said, you speak Italian. I see you every morning. You're outside there with this and that. He says, we need a Christmas tree here. What are we going to do for a Christmas tree? So I
In
said,
Florence.
I looked at this friend of mine. He gave me this ring. They gave me this ring. He says to me, I says, I'll find out. He says, number one, he says, see if you get some stoves here. He says, because the Germans broke all the windows, the heat and everything. The bed where we take baths and all, where she lived. And next door.
Can I interrupt for 1
Yeah.
minute? We didn't give them nothing yet. We're gonna have dinner now, okay?
Oh, no, that's fine.
You're not moving.
No.
Oh, they ain't going no place. Don't worry
Okay,
about
so
it.
the water brought some macaroni and we have everything.
Yeah.
That's all raviolis.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I wish everybody was here.
I wish, it's just-
I
We
wish
have
your
to make
father was
plans
here. I
to do
thought your
that.
father was coming.
I told him, because I spoke to him yesterday, I told him, when he comes back,
Yeah.
they come back in May. They
Yeah,
go
oh,
from
May,
January to May. I said, we'll make time.
Yeah.
We'll all come.
Okay.
And we'll get together because, now that we get to see you.
Last night,
100 years since
the
I've
only
seen
reason
you.
I make you come Friday because I took my doctors to eat. To be
Oh,
with
okay.
doctors. Them guys took care of me, you know what I mean? This and that. I get 100%. So anyway, let me tell you about it.
So when he comes back in May, we're
Yeah, so one,
gonna get together.
Do you know where we are?
No, now I do. It's easy
It
to
was
get here.
difficult to get
Not
here
at all.
now.
Very
Okay.
simple.
so he told me, he says,
It's a nice trip. I mean, from Long Island, you know.
It was less than an hour.
less than an hour, man. What are you kidding me?
Less than an hour.
So
I just hate
the-
the Bell Parkway.
So Morelli said the general wants to
But-
see you upstairs. I go upstairs. He says, you know, every Christmas we have parties in America. We're going to do the same thing here. He says, go and see the priest. Tell him you want about 25 kids here. And he says, each one to take care of a kid. Tell the massage and make frankfurters, hamburgers, and everything. And they wanted the girls to come over to help the kids. This way they get a bag of food to take home because they had nothing.
Yeah.
So I told her she didn't want to come, but finally she came later on.
No, I came because I came with the priest.
Yeah, well, let me say the story. So anyway, I go to the priest. I says, Father, I says, every Sunday I should take all the guys here, I used to put a buck in it was good, you know. So I says to the priest, I said in Italian, I says, look, in America we do this and this and this. He said, oh, that's very nice. We want to do the same thing here. He said, we need about 25 kids. And everybody be somebody there, girl, somebody take care of it. The lieutenants and all that take
Just
care
put
of
them on the
it.
chair there.
So you can take care. He says, very good. Very, very good, he says. In the morning, at 5 o'clock the next morning, there's a woman outside, an old woman. She's hollering, Morello, Morello. I said, what do you want, Leach? You go home. I'm going to sleep. She says, the priest wants to see you. He says, the priest wants to see you. So I went over there.
Then put this over there while you're talking.
Where?
Then,
Oh, that's all
all
right.
right.
what's your name?
Steve.
Steve. Oh, I forget a lot.
That's all
Right
right.
now, I forget a lot of things. I forget my own name now. I'm not kidding.